Okay, we are back at the house. It is, let's see, a week after our last painting 5-day weekend. So what we're doing today is putting some second coats of the white on and then doing the whole front rooms in the white color of the wall. So just bringing everything together. And right now I'm getting the stairs covered up for the next coat. And then I'm also, while Craig is working on the white, I'm going to go into the guest bedroom and finish up the walls in there, do the first coat. I did 2 coats on the ceiling already. Let's see what else has happened. The closets have been installed. You can see a sneak peek of the kitchen. That's been installed. There'll be one more install day for the kitchen because they have to get all the appliances in place. And next week, there should be slats going in for the staircase and maybe a fireplace. It's a big week, but we're getting close to a holiday season, so we're not sure. We have about 2 weeks until the world stops. So anyway, we're working as fast as we can. While also trying to be calm and one thing at a time, or 10. I also need to cover as we go downstairs into the basement because we're doing a second coat here. And what we're going to do, because we did have the basement refinished for an office, so come on through. What we're going to do is do the office last because that's where they've been storing a bunch of stuff. So we're just going to get this white coat on here for now. And then probably in 2 or 3 videos from now, you'll see us doing a finishing for the basement concrete floor. And then also we have to do the Alkemis paint for the walls and ceiling in there all as well. So for now, get the floors covered, get the white all done. And, be cool. I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed and cranky because I've been doing 10-hour days at the house while the install is happening. And I'm usually a person who has a lot of fun at this stuff. However, 10-hour days, it's probably been 12 days straight. Not hold it up. But prep is always unpleasant, so I figure once we get started painting, once the prep is done, it's the easier stuff can begin. And then I don't have to be so cranky. Maybe I just need a banana. Sometimes it's that simple, right? Okay. Stairs are prepped. You find it? Okay, good. What do you think, buddy? If I was on a TV show, maybe there'd be a bunch of crew here getting everything done, in a day. And go 24 hours until move-in, Yeah.
You are the crew, and one of us doesn't do anything. Not mentioning names.
Okay, I've got banana fuel. Guest bedroom. We are prepped and ready to get the Alkemis color ceremony on the wall. I've already cut in. We discovered that the cutting in, they say to cut in as you go, but because the colors are so light, we noticed that it's fine to cut in all the way around and then go in with your color, which we may do it a little differently in the bedroom upstairs because it's a bit darker, but in here it seemed to be working out great. So the next time I see you, this room will be painted. Okay, so one concern is that as I roll this first coat on, it looks very pink compared to where I just cut it. So really hoping that as it dries, it softens up. But it just seems like it wouldn't be so pink. Can you see that? Remember a few minutes ago when I snapped and I was like, the room's gonna be done. Well, you can compare from the ceiling to this wall, especially as it's drying. It's drying very pink. I actually think they might have given me a different color in the can labeled ceremony, because it's just not even close. It's, you know, the ceiling color is supposed to be the same, and this one is definitely like almost like a sherbety pink. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, whereas the original color that I painted already, the ceiling and the closet, is like a creamy butter. It's like almost like a brownish undertone. It's very pretty. There's absolutely no pink. Like, I've not put it on the wall at all and thought, oh, pink, or like a hue of pink. So I think that I've just got the wrong color. So I've written to Alkemis. They've helped me along the way, so I'm sure they're going to be very helpful. But my husband was saying maybe just do one coat on everything, and I was like, no way, because then it'll be like pink underneath. The ceiling is done, and it's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to move on from this, and then we'll just come back in when I get the right color and coat the walls, because luckily everything's primed, so all I need to do is top to bottom do the walls. And then we'll move on now to the white in the main space. Okay, so you just got to be willing to pivot. And what I'm doing is just taping and setting up to finish these front 2 rooms. So where I am, I'm surrounded in our appliances that won't get installed until plumber comes and the electrician. So they'll come and get these installed. But for now, we're going to paint around them. And I'm just taping the new baseboards so that we can cut in. So I'll cut in, and Craig will come behind me and roll. And we'll just keep getting as much done as we can. So I think after this weekend, we'll have the whole house painted, except for, because tomorrow our plan is to come in and do the primary suite. So that's our only project tomorrow, which makes it a lot easier. And then the only things left will be the office. I think I said that already, the office, and then now the guest bedroom. So hopefully we can get the right color for that, but luckily all I have to do is roll, as long as the color's right. But as it's dried, it's even gotten more pink, so kind of feels like more ballet studio. It's a beautiful color, but it's just not the color that I wanted. Now, if I could just have a moment of appreciation for these baseboards. Originally, they were going to do a 3/4 round, but the only thing I could find was this square in pine, and all the floors are white oak. So I said to my contractor that I would prefer white oak, but if all we could have is pine, because the shape was so much better. And I figured either we could paint it if we didn't like it, or stain it to match as close as possible. But what they did was they got long boards of white oak and actually ripped down all of these very minimal baseboards for us, and really for me. I feel over the moon appreciative of that level of care. So they didn't install them all the way around the house yet, especially since we didn't paint up here. They had started and they stopped so that I could finish the painting this weekend, and then they'll install the rest of the boards. But the gentleman installing them said, I'm going to leave these ones because they're already installed. So that's what I'm taping off. I'm not sure if that's any wisdom at all, but in terms of like just pivoting. But I think, I'm very tired, and I've been working really hard on all this stuff. And any of you who have, painted your house or worked on your house or done any of these projects, you know how exhausting like this kind of labor goes, especially like working in the sawdust and all of that. Luckily, we're using clean paint, so that's not causing any issues, which is nice. But the point being, you pivot and you accept things as they come, right? Like the bedroom's pink, so either I accept that and keep going with pink, or I decide I'm not going that direction. But instead of letting it really get to me, you just move on to the next project, knowing that there's always time to finish something, because it can be so frustrating, and especially if you're exhausted and, like I said, already crabby. Sometimes it's hard to maintain a positive, not even just positive, but like, mildly content attitude. Anyway, you can tell I'm tired because I'm babbling. Boop. preparing to paint the primary bedroom, and I have just taped out the little area that defines bedroom versus hallway and rest of the house. And we wanted to paint the bedroom the Heaven's Gravel Gray by Alkemis once again. And instead of carrying that down so that it interrupted the rest of the home, we're just taping it off. And then what we'll eventually do is have slats here for the staircase from floor to ceiling. And what we're going to do to separate is carry that last slat over and down. So that way there's a real definition, like there's a real doorway, even though there won't be an actual door here. So Craig is getting the paint mixed. He's putting a few cans together so that we get nice consistent results. And he's, back and forth mixing. And then in order to make sure that this line is crisp before they install the slats, Craig's gonna run his brush with the white over top of the paint. So that way it's a really crisp line with the Heaven's Gravel. And how long do you think it's gonna take us in here, Craig?
Here?
Mm-hmm. We gotta finish
3.5,
priming.
4 hours total?
Yeah, so I think we have 3.5, 4 hours. I'm gonna first cut in all the gray. Craig's gonna finish up some of the priming because we ran out of primer, but we're pretty close. We have just this little wall and a wall behind you. And then I'll start cutting in the gray and he'll start following me with the roller. Pretty proud of my line. And hopefully this time when I snap, I'll snap again before I do, but this time, hopefully, on the other side, the room will actually be painted.
Can you just snap and it will be done?
Different day. We painted until it was dark last night, so there's this really intense LED lighting in here, so I'm not sure how well you can see this, but got the line nice and crisp, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love it.
Hanging by a thread, lonesome, lonely as it gets. Lost in, wandering in my head. I was sleeping. You, honey, you got me. And you were right on time. Honey, I got you. And you were right on time, honey. Anxious like a wreck. Water's rising, waves flooding in. like a castaway, floating on driftwood. I was sinking, I was sinking. You, honey, you got me, and you were right on time. And honey, I got you, and you were right on time, honey. Hanging by thread.